Well, welcome back, baseball fans, to the 69, 70, 71, 72 draft prep video. We're in the last division in the American League, the American League West, and we're going to see what's happening out west in the American League. Starting with the California Angels, who lose Mark Bailey, Bob Baylor, Doug DeCinces, Dave Parker, Vukovic, Nepper, Mike Witt, and Bob Shirley. And the Angels should have Jay Johnstone. Where first thing we do is we take the players who we already know are on the team and we flip them over. Johnstone's not here. Bob Morton's not here. Messersmith is probably not here either, I don't think. Oh, he is there still. That's gonna change. Jim McLaughlin. Floyd Wilhelm's not here. Ken Tatum. Tatum should be here. Oh, no Ken Tatum's here. It's not good anymore. Fregosi, Alex Johnson. I don't think Fregosi's here anymore. No, Fregosi, Alex Johnson. Jim Spencer, Greg Garrett, Sandy Alomar, Andy Etchebarren. Well, Alomar's here, and Etchebarren's here. Okay, so these are draft eligible, unless they're playing for another team. We start with some nameless cards: Doug Howard, Jack Hyatt, and Hyatt is elsewhere. Even though he's nameless, I'll move him to his proper team. Jack Hyatt, I think it's Atlanta, I want to say. Yes, Jack Hyatt is Atlanta. Move him. All right, so if you want, Jeff Torborg, he's not very good. Bob Oliver, he's with Kansas City. Pull him out. Billy Parker, an infielder against lefties. We were remarking that earlier that the Angels are going to have some outstanding pitchers. They're going to have Clyde Wright, Nolan Ryan, Bill Singer. We're going to have an outstanding rotation and an outstanding bullpen. If they can't get sticks, maybe they get gloves or something. I don't know. They got to figure out just get a few hitters in this offense. This not being one of them, Billy Parker. McMullen. Okay, so he hasn't been picked to this point because he's just kind of an okay third baseman, always sitting around like 250. Here he gets 269 with 9 homers and 472. And he's with the Angels. I believe he also plays for the Dodgers. Somebody has to say, look, draft a dude. So you might as well take McMullen to replace DeCinces in one of the years. Leo Cardenet is still on the Twins. Veda Pinson is on the Indians. Ken Berry. A really good Ken Berry, by the way, and I believe he's an E0, a 1-0 E0. Unfortunately, he belongs to Las Vegas, or fortunately, because we want Las Vegas and these expansion teams to be decent instead of terrible. Mickey Rivers was retired, I believe, right? Yeah, he was retired, so he's available again. As is a young Lee Stanton, good against lefties. Okay, now Nolan Ryan, I have to temporarily pull him out because he's currently property of the Texas Rangers, though we know this, let me have a look at the card at least. We know that this card will be taken by the Angels with the first overall pick in the draft. So it is a starter 8, not a starter 9, and he does 228, 284 innings. He will be the ace of the Angels in the first overall pick in the draft. And largely it's a career pick more than a individual season pick. So they'll have the 72 card for 4 years, and then at that point they could go to the 76 Ryan card, and then after that they can do the 79 Ryan card before he ends up with the Astros. So they'll probably get 12 years out of the guy. So great news for the Angels, but I have to move him out of here to Texas for a moment. Clyde Wright, we saw him win 22 games in one of the previous videos. Here he's still great. So you could take this one, if not the other. Rudy May belongs, I think, to Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. Just double check. Let's move him to Ohio. Don Rose is not very good. Lloyd Allen, one of these, I think 71 he's better. He's good here, but he's better in 71. And Steve Barber, let's just double check him. Yeah, he's available. He's a lefty, gets lefties out. Again, pitching is not the issue for the Angels. They got it in spades. It's ridiculous how good they are. Granger is still properly the big red machine. So let's move him to Cincinnati. And that's it for your Angels. And again, no big deal. We know Nolan Ryan is the first pick in the draft from this box, so the second player doesn't matter too much. Maybe it's McMullen. You know, maybe it is one of those relievers, or maybe it is that Clyde Wright. All right, California is done. Next up, Oakland, the A's. They win the World Series this year in 1972, though I think they're better in previous seasons. So Oakland loses Thad Bosley and Mike Heath and Ricky Henderson, yeah, and Dwayne Murphy and Scott Thompson, Kurt Young, Gary Lavelle, and they'll bring back Raleigh Fingers. So we've noticed that in Oakland's boxes there haven't been a lot of players because all of the players are in the Carryover League. So in that same manner, let's protect or turn over all the cards. Let's put the hitters up front first. It'll be Bando. Where is he? Bando, Green, Reggie Jackson, Catfish Hunter, Mike Torres, 69 Jim Nash. Well, actually, Jim Nash is one of those players that did not make it into this draft. So, he wasn't very good. Can you imagine that? A guy who went to a World Series. Bert Campaneris, John Donaldson, I don't see him. Joe Rudy, Gene Tennis. Where's old Gene? There he is. Vida Blue and Bob Locker. Vida Blue and Bob Locker is elsewhere. Alright, so Epstein is also elsewhere. He's with Texas. I'm probably putting him out of there. Dave Duncan is with St. Louis. Mincher, I believe, is with Milwaukee, though they might think of trading for him if they can, if they have the chance to. Larry Brown is with Cleveland. We're going to run out of players for Oakland again. I can just see it. They're not going to have anybody here. Larry Brown. Yes, Cleveland. All right, Angel Miguel. So here is a possibility. You need a couple outfielders to replace Henderson and Dwayne Murphy. Obviously, nobody replaces Ricky Henderson, of course. But you got to at least have a guy run out and play left field for this team. And he's available. George Hendricks, rookie year. Not worth, I mean, he's got the homers against righties and nothing else. Ken Holtzman's on St. Louis. He was part of that Mark Langston and John Tudor and Steve Carlton thing. Blue Moon Odoms with Las Vegas. Look at that. You got Steve Busby, you snaked out of the Royal organization, though he's nameless here, you can't use him. Don Newhouser from the Boston organization. Daryl Knowles is with the Rangers. Oh, there's finally a guy, Raleigh Fingers. So is he the only guy? Excuse me. Yes, folks. Raleigh Fingers is your minor league system. From 1984, he was with Milwaukee, and then boom, back to 1972, and boom, that's the dude. So, yeah, it'll be him, and then that's it. There's no other Oakland players again. Well, so the good news for Oakland is that Minnesota and Kansas City aren't in their division, so their road to the dynasty is made easier. The only problem is their players keep getting snaked by other teams, and they have no farm system to add players from. All right, next up, Seattle. And the Mariners trying just to improve. It wasn't as if they were building a dynasty in the early 80s anyway, so the fact that they're going back to the past, they're not linked to the Seattle Pilots. Remember, the Seattle Pilot disaster has been projected into Milwaukee. So Seattle is just a completely brand new expansion team who lost Al Davis, Rupert Jones, Lance Parrish, Luis Salazar, Harry Spillman, Alan Wiggins, Eric Schall, and Jim Beattie. And here, Tommy Matchett is not here. Kurt Monton, Ulander is elsewhere. Luke Walker might be here. Nope, he's not. Diego Segui and Lou Marone. No Diego Segui. We know Lou Marone's done in 69. Dale Maxwell's here. We know he should be here. There he is. Joe Pepitone should be here. There he is. Marcelino Lopez and Marcel Latchman are gone. Ron Woods. Steve Klein should be here. And there he is. All right. Seattle. Need a catcher to replace Lance Parrish. Here's one. He can't throw very well, but boy, he can hit. He gets better every year. Ellis. So, well, 290, 294, but more power here. Yeah, I would say get this dude. John Ellis. Excellent. Beauchamp against lefties. Not much. He's a good defensive second baseman. Theobald to replace Wiggins at second. Jim LaFay is on the White Sox. Could pull him out. Winston Lennis. He's all right. Middle infielder against lefties. Bill North. He's too young. He's not quite. He's only 181. Swoboda was with Kansas City. Hovley's a rookie. Yeah, he's available. Snaked him away from Kansas City. No big loss for them. We know all about Kansas City's abundance of talent. That's a nice player. Can hit lefties. For an expansion team like Seattle, that's a versatile player. Dave Marshall, they stole this guy from the Mets. The Mets weren't really that hurt by the defection, but anyway, so the Mets or Seattle have to decide a tug of war or rock, paper, scissors to see who adds Dave Marshall to the roster. Pete Broberg, always good to steal a pitcher from one of your division rivals. In this case, it's Texas. Mike McQueen, a lefty he's a lefty. Steve Ranko, we've seen a better Ranko than that. Yeah, it's not very good. An aging Jim Merritt nameless card. Ed Farmer, again, he's very young here, and then he's out of baseball for like 2 or 3 years. Then he comes back with the White Sox in the mid-70s. Blasingame, nameless, but he's with somebody else. So I want to move him anyway. Nameless Blasingame is with, I want to say Florida. Yes, Florida Marlins. And Cy Acosta. So you got a reliever. Yes. You don't really need a reliever. You need 2 starting pitchers, but you can figure it out. Maybe move, yeah. Well, it's a good problem to have. The point is that the expansion teams usually end up with a large quantity of players, and that is what they need because their rosters are so bad. So they need options, regardless if they're not great options. And lastly, the Texas Rangers, who have a bulging bit of cards, I've noticed, as they seem to be reinventing themselves simultaneously as the Washington Senators and the Texas Rangers, and there must be like 30 cards here for a team that's supposed to have a 20-man roster. So we got to figure out exactly who belongs and who is extra and is in different organizations. This could take a while, which is what I dread. This might be the longest evaluation yet. So the Rangers, okay, Hank Allen, who I'm sure is not here, Mike Epstein, Frank Howard, saw him, Del Unser, Dick Bosman should be here. Let's double check. Look at these players. How did the Rangers end up with so many guys? Here's Dick Bosman, Daryl Knowles, Bernie Allen's not here. Ed Brinkman, Rick Reichert, Merv Retmond from 70. 71, Dave Nelson and Paul Lindblad. There's Dave Nelson. I think Lindblad should be here. There's Lindblad. Okay. Wow. So, all right. So they do have Nolan Ryan, but the commissioner's already predetermined that he's not going to pitch for the Rangers in this season. The Rangers acknowledge that I'm not going to screw history and not let him play for the California Angels. That would be an abomination of the league. So he's currently on the Texas squad until the deal is made. As is Buddy Bell. They have the rights to Buddy Bell, and they could take him, though I prefer him to go back to Cleveland, where he can play right field and third base. So those two guys are a mere technicality. And so now we can finally start looking at realistic Ranger guys. Too young, Jeff Burrows. Nope. Bill Fahey. He's also very young, I believe. He wasn't taken, was he? No, he's still very young at this point. All right. He's not very good. Dick Billings. Catcher against lefties, maybe. Larry Bittner. He's all right. Lenny Randall. They're not out of the oven yet. They're still cooking. These are like quadruple A versions of these guys. Len Randall, Jim Mason, Toby Harrah. Well, actually, Harrah might be ready. 259. Yeah, he's ready, I think. You could bring Harrah up. He's ready to go. You already see his on base ability starting against lefties. Doesn't have power yet, of course. He's very young here. So they might wait on him. Joe Lovito. Not much there. Elliot Maddox. Always known for defense. He's okay. You're going to see a lot of cards and probably not a lot of good ones. Ted Ford. A lot of times it's because guys are like one-hit wonders, and so they're only in the league for 1 year, and then they don't get taken in the Carryover League, and they just kind of sit there. Ted Ford. Tom Grieve doesn't bloom yet. Bill Hands will eventually be part of that trade carousel. He's currently with the Cubs. Pull him out. Mike Paul. Now this would be a real... All right, so we saw Mike Paul with Cleveland in 69, and he has another good year in 72 with Texas. So this player will literally be fought over in the draft as to who drafts him first, because it's whoever uses the draft pick first. That's the beauty of the draft. So does Cleveland take 69 Paul before Texas takes 72 Paul? He's a starter 7 on the lefty. He would replace Mike Mason. Look out, Cleveland, because they would they pull the trigger on that deal. I think this Paul might be the best card I've seen from this group of dudes. I mean, it's been 10 cards, but 10 cruddy ones, and then Mike Paul comes up. Rich Hand, he's okay. He's not good against lefties. 332 though. Steve Lawson, Gogolewski. Make sure Gogolewski and Gogolewski and Horatio. Is it Horatio Pena in the league? It might be on Oakland. Nope, he's available. Horatio Pena. Wow, that's it. So what's really interesting here is the this Mike Paul conundrum. Knowing that they don't get to take Nolan Ryan, they're not going to get Buddy Bell. All these guys are kind of lousy. So why wouldn't the Rangers say, well, here's a great left-handed starting pitcher. We're just going to take him. And Cleveland gets screwed out of 69 Mike Paul. Yeah, but again, maybe Texas says, look, we'll send you Buddy Bell so we can take Mike Paul. So there you go. There's the solution on that one. All right, that's it from the West, American League West. We're halfway down the box. Thanks for checking out the videos. We'll see you next time.